Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This video is in the playlist called Handling Strings in SQL, and here we'll be learning how to know the length of a string. A string is the term given to one or more characters used to represent text in database data or relational data. It is also something which exists across all the other programming languages. It can include letters, numbers, special characters, and or spaces, and any other special characters. So although sometimes a string may have spaces, a string is considered one object. So we'll be using the string function called length, length. And like I mentioned before, in SQL, the commands are usually, most of the time, not case sensitive, except when you're dealing with strings. So like I said, a string is one or more characters, including spaces and special characters, and they are enclosed in a pair of single quotes if you hard code them. Otherwise, you don't have to hard code them if you're referring to a column of table. Okay, we will see that example later on. So now let's look at a few examples just to illustrate how length works in getting the length of a string, how length function does it. So now we have the select statement, select length, and then because it's a function, we have a pair of parentheses, and then inside that is the parameter that you're passing. In this case, you only pass one parameter, which is the string itself. It could be a string enclosed in a pair of single quotes, or it could be a column name. Okay, so here the as is just your alias, and then from dual. So we are using SQL to get the length of the string called the string hello. Okay, so when you execute, it tells us, it gives you 5, which is the length of the string hello, meaning that string consists of 5 characters. That's the meaning of the 5 here. All right. So it's not so complicated, right? So now what happens? So in strings, a space character, actually, a space character, the one created by a space bar, is not the same as nothing. It is not the same as null. Okay, so what happens when I add a space to the hello string? Right now the string consists of these 5 letters, 5 characters. Now remember, a space is also a character. All right, it has an ASCII code assigned to itself, and then but most of all, it is really a character, although it's not visible. It only becomes visible because it's beside some other visible characters, and they're all of them are enclosed in a pair of single quotes. So I've added a single character at the end of the string hello, and let's see what happens to the length. So now it becomes 6 because the word hello has 5 characters, and the space character consists of 1. So 5 plus 1 character on the space character equals 6. That's why we have 6. All right, so that's not difficult, isn't it? So now what happens if I add another space to this string? So it will give you the expected behavior or output, like if you were following what I was explaining. So I've added another space character at the end. So in total, I've added 2 space characters at the end of the string called hello, of the string hello, all right? So now the length has become 7. If you want to check that, if you don't trust, if you don't have that confidence yet with what the SQL developer or SQL is doing, actually, it will not go wrong with this one. So it's quite easy for the SQL engine to be doing this. Then you can check by highlighting the characters one by one from left to right. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see there are a total of 7 characters within the pair of single quotes, which is technically the value of the string. Anything or everything that is inside the pair of single quotes. All right. Okay. So now let's turn the previous example, this example, into a phrase. So I've turned this into a phrase, hello Earth. And if I will execute this now, it gives me the length is 12, 12 characters. So we can check that again using, I can do this manually only because it's a very strong, short string. But if it happens to be a very long string and you don't trust, actually the length function will not go wrong. But another way of checking this if you want is you can use one of those text editors like Notepad++, wherein they also have that functionality or feature which tells you the length of a string. Okay, so let's check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So it's 12 characters. It's correct because the word hello has 5, the space has 1, that's 6. Earth uh, has 5, that's 11. And then the period here, or full stop, is 1. So it becomes 12. That's correct. Okay, so there's nothing really complicated about the length function. It is something very handy. It can be used as a work condition. It can be used in many kinds of way. In your work clause, it can be used in multiple ways, actually. It can be used to do an update. So it's a very useful string function. Remember that this function is used on a string. If you will use it on a number value, you can you have to, or in any other data type, you have to convert it to be safe, convert it explicitly to car. That's the way to do it. So in all our previous examples, we have used a hard-coded string. Okay, hard-coded meaning it is not dynamic, it's static. Okay, it's a string value within the pair of single quotes. In this last example, I will be showing you that we could also use the length function. It doesn't only work on a hard-coded string, but also on a column value of a table. I mean, on a column name of a table. So here is my length function, and I'm not using a hard-coded string. Hard-coded is the one wherein the string value is enclosed in a pair of single quotes. That's hard-coded. So, but here, I'm using the length function not on a hard-coded string, but on a column. This is a column name of a table called employees. And if I will do a shift F4 of this employees table, you can see that surname. Surname is here. The data type is varchar2. So that's the Oracle name for that, but varchar2, simply put, is a string. Okay, it can be a letter, a number, it can be a punctuation mark, a special character, a space, any combination of these. So now let's get the length of surname. If you'll notice in my select list, I'm mentioning two expressions right there. One is the surname column, which belongs to the employees table, as well as the length of the surname. And just so it becomes more descriptive in the output, I am using an alias of len for the output of the length of surname. Okay, so let's execute this one. Now it will display to me two columns, the first one being the values of the surnames from the employees table, and the second column, although it doesn't belong to the table itself, but it's simply a result of an expression I've used, which is using the length function. So alongside each column value is its length. Like here you have Santos, it consists of 6 characters, so the length is 6. Ruiz is 4, Pasternak is 9, and so on. Okay, so there you have it. You've seen how the length string function works. So you could use it on hard-coded string values, or you could use it also on a column name of table. And that column must have a data type of varchar2. Okay, thank you for watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed, please click subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.